Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Tammie Jean stream. It's Thursday night. Thank you all for being here on the late night, at least late for me. Is Ken still on? I know he was giving away a car driving experience with exotic cars, I think. I don't know. I'm sure everyone's still hanging out over there waiting for him to pick the winner. So thank you all for being here. 18 people as far as I could see. I appreciate you coming right over. Looks like Don was first again this week. All hail Doug Sisk. Oh my goodness. Look at what you did. It's the legend of Doug Sisk, soon to be illustrated by Midjourney for next week's show. Donald, what is all of this? Hey, Eat More Possum is here. Good to see you. Who else did I see in early? Mad Props is here. Hey, Randy. Lots of legend of Doug Sisk. Was I supposed to read all these out, Dawn, or can I save them for next week with illustrations? Windwalker Jones is here. Hi, Chad. Drone Shots. Hey, Jody. Peter Carroll. Peter Carroll. You know what I did, you guys? I update the beginning and the end of the show, the intro and the outro, to show the members of the channel. And I don't know how I did it, but I missed Peter Carroll last week. He's in there now, but I felt so bad. Not only is Peter Carroll a member, but he is the reason that 10 other people are members of the channel. So he's a pretty important member. I don't know how I forgot, but sorry about that, Peter. And thank you so much for being here. I fixed it. Joe America is here. Hey there, Joe. Brent Ariels. Hi, Gary. Rigor Mortis. Hey, Mark. I was late. I think it was close, Dom, right? Like I thought it was close. Late start. Doug Sisk was never late to a game. You know, I feel like I have a pretty good reason. Like I was all ready to go. And there was a video that I wasn't going to play tonight because I thought that it might get a copyright claim. I was trying to monetize the live stream. I wasn't going to play it, but I was told that this particular video was not going to pull copyright. So just last minute, like 10, it was 9:53. I said, I know what I could do. I could just like quickly upload it as a draft to my channel and let it run checks. So that's what I did. I uploaded the video to my channel. I let it run checks. It actually said no checks found. So I added it to what I'm going to play tonight. But that may have made me a minute late. So I'll let you know in a little while who we could blame. But it's not Doug Sisk. The legend of Doug Sisk. I can't wait to read through all that, Donald. Hey, Wedge and Big is here. Good to see you, Paul. Only 4 likes so far. Get on it, you guys. Thank you, Gary. Chris Wedgeworth is here, watching, lurking. Hey, Chris. Who else did I see? Jonathan Jackson is here. Good to see you, Jonathan. Scrolling down. Already said hi. Ken who? The guy that's on Thursday nights before me. Mark, you know that. Hey, TJ Giggles and Drones. Good to see you, TJ. Joe Fudoleo. Ayo. Hey, Joe. Hashtag Chihuahua. I'm not really sure why you said that, Dom. I'm not really sure. Is OJ's still dead. I saw that OJ passed today from cancer. So, yeah, I did see that. I saw the announcement. You are not easy to miss. No, that's terrible. I'm so sorry about that, Peter. I had my list and I was checking it twice, and your name is on it. I just thought that I had already added you and I hadn't. So sorry about that. No excuses. Exactly, Dominic. There are no excuses. No excuses. Don't even try it. Oh, this new setup on PC, you have to exit chat to like the stream, then show the chat again. Yeah, I noticed that too, Paul. I don't like that. But it does make it makes it a pain to like the stream because you have to like X out of, what you're watching, what you're doing, and then come back in. It's lame. It's lame. Hey, Dan is here. I fixed it. Good to see you, Dan. Am I to the bottom? Okay, that's everybody so far. Because is Ken Heron still on? I think he's probably still on. Hey, Jim Stroning's here. Good to see you, Jim. So let me tell you what we got for tonight. I got notes. Let me see. Well, right up top was my apology to Peter Carroll. I didn't want to forget. Besides that, let's see. Where do I start? I know everybody's already talking about the Avada 2. Are you guys interested in that? Are you guys interested in getting it? Because I feel like, oh, he's off. Thank you, Uncle Bill. Hi, Uncle Bill. Yeah, let me tell you something. I feel like everyone has been singing the praises of the Avada since it came out. Everyone loves that drone. So if there was no new Avada coming out, like, wouldn't you all just still love your Avadas? Like, I feel like everyone gets sucked into that, ooh, I got to get the new one. Like, don't do it. Just fly what you have. Fly what you have. It's fine. Zero interest. You're ready for the talk to be over? Like, didn't it just come out today? I just feel like, everyone, I feel like this community is almost like peer pressure to go buy a new drone. And I'm just saying, like, you don't have to. You don't have to. Everybody loves their Avada. The camera's a little better. The battery life is a little longer. But you know what? You're going to have to buy, you're going to have to buy all new everything. Like, I don't know. Don't do it. Just fly your Avadas. You guys love your Avadas. See, Avada 2 sucks. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Oh, you want it, TJ? Not in the cards for you. Yeah. Oh, Joe Merica already added one to his fleet. Joe is at drone number 6, drone number 7. Joe is a collector, though, so, Hey, Lambo's here. Good to see you, Lambo. And Ghost is here. Hey, Eric. Yeah, all I'm saying is don't give in to the peer pressure. You probably don't need it, but if you want to have your fun, go have your fun. Jim. I'm just saying, I feel like if the only thing, like if we didn't have these live streams and everything, and all you saw was like, advertisements in your email, like, hey, we got something new out, you'd be like, yeah, whatever, I'm not buying anything right now. But you hear everybody talking about it, and everybody's like, oh, I want one. You don't really need it. I don't know. Joe says, I'm more than happy with my current 5 FPV drones. No more needed. See, that's right. You got to just love what you have. Okay, stop by to show a little support. Off to work. Oh, off to work on the new motorcycle. I've got 4 of these things now. I don't know what to do with them. Oh, is that what happens, Dan? You start like a motorcycle channel and then you start collecting motorcycles instead? That actually sounds more expensive. Oh, Joe unboxed it on Paul Murray's. Wow, it's a big day today. It's a big day with that Avada 2, which I predicted, by the way. I predicted. You know what? Oh, it's much nicer than the OG Avada. Goggles are crazy good. You know what? I predicted this on Dobo's stream. As a matter of fact, we made a bet because I said, I'm going to have to find the clip. I know I saved it. I'm going to have to find the clip because I said there was going to be an Avada 2 by April. And I think he said, like, the loser of that bet had to put a notch in their eyebrow. I'm gonna have to go pull that clip because I think Dobo owes me a notch in his eyebrow. You know, like the gangster notch up here. I'm pretty sure we made a bet. Hey, Cliff Field is here. Ban everyone. Damn right. Just ban everyone. Oh, wait, Andrew, Jasper thinks he needs something. Not so far. He's worn out. We went on a trip. I'm going to tell you about it. But yeah, Jasper's all worn out. So I'm telling you, Jim, it is peer pressure. Everyone starts talking about it. And then I was like, ooh, really? It has a better camera? I need that. Did I say hi to Cool Cat? Hey there, Michael. Did Max buy the Avada 2? No, Andrew, he did not. He's not giving into the peer pressure. As a matter of fact, he'll probably start offering people $50 for their Avada 1. Everyone's going to be throwing it up on Marketplace. Lambo forgot about the release. And yeah, the videos are everywhere. Yep, it's true. It's true. Eat More Possum's been flying the Jet RC rocket for years. Have bought and sold 5 other FPV quads, but still fly the rocket. Wow, that's a very good. That's a very good word towards the Jet RC rocket. Wow. Tammie Jean, you were close being April 11th. I was close. I was close to what? Did I miss something? I probably did. You know what's on April 12th? Jasper's birthday. Yeah, Jasper's birthday is tomorrow. So even though it's going to be a rainy day, we've been discussing like what we can do for Jasper's birthday. And I think it's going to have to be a trip to PetSmart. Hopefully, as soon as I'm off work, because that's when all of the puppy and dog classes start at PetSmart. So he'll be able to meet lots of other doggies. That'll be fun. And then we'll have to see what else we can do. Maybe I'll have to make a doggy cake or some cupcakes or something. But Jasper's turning 15 tomorrow, you guys. 15. So oh, I was close. I'm predicting the Avada 2 coming out. Yeah, I was close because I said by April. So I mean, really, I pretty much got it. Oh, happy birthday to Jasper in Australia. It's already April 12th. Thank you, Dom. Nana Zadig is here. Good to see you. Thank you, Andrew. I've got, hopefully we're going to do Jasper's and Aries. I never thought about that. Oh, Wedge, to the best doggy in the entire community. Happy birthday, Jasper. Thank you so much, Paul. I appreciate that. I'm going to have to pass that on to Jasper. He usually uses his money for pizza. Max always gets him corn muffins in the morning when he goes to get a coffee. He usually doesn't pay for those. He usually saves his cash up for pizza money. So yeah, we might have to get him sliced pizza tomorrow. We might have to put that on the list. Every year I always try to think what's all his favorite things. Then we try to do them all, you know. Everybody's saying happy birthday to Jasper. Thank you. TJ, happy birthday. Yes, Jasper's 15. He doesn't look a day over 12. I thought the same. You know, I've shown this clip before. Let me see if I still have it. Maybe not. Darn. Okay, maybe not. Oh, maybe I do. Maybe I don't. Is it this one? Do I dare just start playing something? It just says produce 14. I think it's produce 14. I'm playing it. That's him. Look at him go. Look at him go. See? 15. He wears it well, right? Look at him go. Ran around the backyard, playing peekaboo with mom behind the fire pit. That's him, Mr. Energy. Mr. Energy. That makes me laugh. So when we were in Ohio, he was running around like that because he likes to be in like the wide open, like that farm situation. He loves that. And where Max keeps wood, I've mentioned before, he rents a few acres where he has his firewood business. And so there, the wood yard, that is Max's property, plus the adjoining is like a bunch more fields and trails. So he runs around like a maniac over there too. Like that is pretty much one of his favorite spots ever. But yeah, he loves to run around like all crazy, as mom says. My birthday is in 10 days. If ever anyone's tired of their Avada too by then, in 10 days. So the 21st, Uncle Bill, I'm the 27th. My birthday is this month too. Bring Jasper to the barkery. There is a barkery. There is a barkery in Jasper's favorite town. Normally, we would take him for a walk in his favorite town on Main Street. We should take him to the barkery. It's actually a very good idea, Andrew. Happy birthday, Jasper. Hey, Deneen's here. Good to see you, Deneen. And Bob Casey. Hey, Bob. Ashley Brown is here. Jasper has good taste. What did I say? Oh, because pizza, right? His favorite things are pizza, cheeseburgers, and Linden Butter Crunch cookies, and corn muffins. He gets a lot of corn muffins, though. Happy birthday to Jasper. Thank you, Deneen. He's a pizza puppy. Yes, he is. What does he have on his pizza? He would love to have pepperoni, but it just tears him up inside. So he has to have plain, and even that gets him sometimes. Hey, Jim, thank you so much. Super sticker. You know what? They don't animate through Streamyard, but I'll have to check that out later. Thank you so much, Jim. I appreciate that. And Jasper does too. Now he can buy a whole pie. Jasper doesn't look a day over 10. Happy birthday, Jasper. Thank you, guys. Okay, so, I'm behind. I'm very behind. Bob Casey said happy birthday. He could almost, not because he's big, because he's only like 40 pounds soaking wet, but he does get going pretty fast. Oh, your son's birthday is the 22nd. Oh, okay. Yeah, April. I feel like April's a busy month. Note to self, you should wait until your pizza delivery gets indoors before eating it because drivers don't like holding the box while you take it. That's pretty good. Okay, so I'm at the bottom of the chat. Let me continue on. I feel like I have a lot tonight. All hail Doug Sisk. I will definitely have to go through and read about the legend of Doug Sisk. I'm looking forward to that. Oh, right. And this was from Old Chappa Mudball Don said, Seems dumb to make a big deal about an eclipse. The Earth goes dark every day. And I know that's a joke because I know Don was planning on viewing it, and so did we. And this was such a week, actually, because first we had an earthquake over here. The earthquake was in New Jersey. It was a 4.8, which is nothing compared to what I and many others experienced in Southern California. But for the East Coast, we haven't had anything like that in quite a while. The Did You Feel It reports stretched all the way up to Maine, actually, and all the way into Canada. I don't know how far south, but they say that the rock is different here on the East Coast. It's older and I believe more solid because it doesn't get shaken up that much. So when it does, the ripple effect, it goes far and wide. Whereas I feel like in California, there's so many fault lines and they're shaken up all the time. It's like, you know, it's trying to go through stuff that's already broken up. I feel like it doesn't transmit as far. So yeah, for a little 4.8 in New Jersey, see where the star is. It was felt very far. I put a little Tammie Jean logo right about where I'm located, and we felt it here. I recognized it right away because I had experienced the 6.9 Northridge earthquake in California back in 1994. And interestingly enough, there was like a 4.2 the week before. But on the West Coast, oftentimes there will be precursors to a big event. So the 4.2 out there in Brentwood, that's where I lived, it was right beneath us and it was shallow. So I very vividly recall pictures swaying back and forth on the wall. I was at a friend's apartment. There was a baby grand piano. It was rolling around on its wheels. I was just kind of like, wow, it's an earthquake. But everyone else had already experienced earthquakes before, so they were terrified. So that was kind of crazy. I was terrified a week later when we got the major 6.9. And then after that, I was probably in California for like 500 aftershocks. And it was terrible. Probably one of the reasons I ended up back here on the East Coast. One of the main reasons, I think. But we had, so that was at like 10:30 in the morning. And I was immediately texting Max. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that was an earthquake. It was not a C-17 flying overhead. And he said that he had felt it too. Definitely an earthquake. And then we had an aftershock at like 6 o'clock at night. But still like nothing compared to California. And yet it was so crazy to feel it here in New York. So, oh my God, TJ, are you serious? I have never had that, and I feel like I don't want to try pineapple on pizza. I don't know. Pineapple on pizza. I don't know, Dominic. Are you on board with that? Taurus is the most regal of signs. Damn right, Uncle Bill. I'm on board with that. Oh my God, Deneen, you're right. Jasper likes calamari too. When I was out flying with Deneen, we stopped at a little restaurant and I forget what Deneen had, but I had calamari and shared it with Jasper, and he loved it. Let's see. That's right. Dominic is another Taurus. But if I remember correctly, Dominic's birthday is coming up in May, right? Is that right? Yes, definitely felt the earthquake here, Andrew. But no one cares about California. Yeah, East Coast earthquakes are weird. It's true, JP. I experienced one, I think I was like 12 years old, and I don't remember what time of day it was. I feel like it was early morning, and my bed was rumbling for like a while. And I remember asking my big brother about it when we woke up, and he's like, yep, that's an earthquake. So, oh, there wasn't an earthquake. Chuck Norris went to the bathroom and shook more than twice. Oh my God, Paul. uh, California deserves it. It was scary as hell when I was in California. This is the weekly seismology report by our roaming reporter, Tammie Jean. Well, it's funny because an earthquake on the East Coast, a little out of the ordinary, but then Max and I traveled to Ohio to see the eclipse. So it's like two natural phenomena in one, less than a week. Do you want to see like a little teaser video? I didn't put my video together yet, but I put together like just some clips of Ohio to give you a little bit of a. Is Doug Siskin here? What? Oh my God. I am still collecting all of these great Doug Sisk comments. So he wasn't checking the closet for Doug Sisk. I think Doug Sisk is actually winning out over Chuck Norris at this point. He's omnipresent. Damn right, Mark. How was your eclipse? It was phenomenal, Andrew. It was magical. You know what's crazy? Max made a short. He with his cell phone, he got a bunch of the phases of the moon creeping over the sun. He got totality. He got it creeping back out. He made a short about it. It's so awesome. And it got a lot of likes, but YouTube didn't share it out. Like, it's not one of his best performing shorts ever. And I'm so stunned by that because what? It was an excellent short. He put it out right away. So it was timely and topical. But yeah, they didn't share that one out. If you haven't seen Max's short of the eclipse, you got to go watch it. I'm telling you, it was really good. It's really good. I kind of, oh my God, it's blasphemy and delicious. Pineapple on pizza. I don't know. Oh wait, what was it? Oh, JP said, I'm north of Seattle and I've been through a handful. Last when I woke up, I didn't even get out of bed. Yeah, you know what? I feel like it changes when you're in a like 6.9. The Northridge earthquake was pretty terrifying. After you're in a terrifying one, then even the small ones are terrifying because you're afraid they're going to turn into large, terrifying ones. So yeah, I was definitely like thrown off by that big earthquake. That was an earthquake. It was Doug Sis taking the field. Yes, TJ, we saw the eclipse. I do know I'm behind in the chat. Will you put on your glasses? You present the preview. Oh, well, I don't have my glasses here next to me, but we did wear them. We need some eclipse chat. You got it, Dominic. We're going to have some eclipse chat. Let me first show you a preview video of Ohio. I will, of course, be putting together like my full edit. There will be vlogging. There will be all kinds of clips. It'll be about our whole trip. But in the meantime, oh, here it is. We're here at our first total solar eclipse.
The only.
The one and only.
Yeah, because I'm not going to be here next one.
Yes, you are. You shut up. Cut your shit. So yeah, we had a quick little trip, but it was a good weekend. We uh we of course got to visit with my dad for a couple of days. So even if the eclipse was a bust, at least we still had a visit. We would still see, day become night. So we weren't expecting too much, especially since the weather they kept changing the forecast like by the hour. They said it was going to be partly cloudy. And so we thought, oh, maybe we'll catch a peek of it. Then it was supposed to be full cloudy. Then it was supposed to be raining. They were predicting downpours. Then they went back to saying cloudy. The morning of the eclipse, we woke up and it was cold and foggy and just gross outside. It's like, all right, we're not going to see anything. But it seemed like right before eclipse time, the sun came out, and we couldn't believe that we actually got to see it. I did put a few of the. I took this picture. I had my camera set up. I had my Mini 3 Pro in the air because I wanted to get that effect of like sunrise or sunset colors out on the horizon. So I kind of aimed off that way, and I didn't get to check that footage yet. It's still in here, but I will. But yeah, so there, you're watching. If you weren't in totality, like I still think it's cool to see the moon coming across, the sun. Like I think the whole experience is pretty cool. But when that moment happens where it suddenly is, let me see. I thought I had, oh, maybe I didn't save it. Oh, wait, here it is. When that moment happens and it's suddenly everything is dark and that corona bursts out, like it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. We were stunned at how cool it was. And then I turned up the shutter speed because I was noticing the little I don't know if they're flares. I don't know. You could see little bits of the sun like sticking out. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but I thought it was pretty cool. But yeah, the whole thing was absolutely magical. We got so lucky to see it at all because, as I said, the weather forecast just kept changing. But it was great. My dad, he came out and watched it with us, but he had sort of like a difficult morning, and he kind of like wasn't in the mood. And I was like, "Aren't you gonna come out and watch it with us?" He's like, "I don't care about that stuff." He was like kind of grumpy about it, but he did come outside, and he did put on glasses and he did look at it, and he was like, "Oh, that is pretty cool." He's like, "I don't know if I'd drive to go see it, but it was pretty cool." And in the meantime, the other thing that we always do when we go see my dad is we try to help him out with some stuff. Max like was helping clear up all of this debris from a tree he had taken down. He was raking, and he took four trailers full of branches, leaf debris, all this stuff back to my dad's fire pit and piled it up huge. So that's what we did after the eclipse. We had a big bonfire. And then I showed a few clips in there of Max riding around on the mower. He mowed probably most of the 7 acres, not all of it, but most of it. It takes a really long time to cut all that grass. So, yeah. So and then the very end, he was fixing my dad's plumbing too. So yeah, my dad lives like 6 hours away. So it's kind of far. It's kind of far in the car for the animals, but they both have a blast once we get there. Even ice, the cat, he runs around in his tent. So yeah, overall, it was a really good time. This was an annoying thing though. I was trying to fly my POS, and if you see there up top on the left, it says unable to take off. Now, I had checked it. It doesn't say that I need to do updates on anything, because it does tell me that as soon as I go into the Fly app. It usually says if I need to update the drone, the controller, the goggles. It didn't tell me that I need any updates, but I was getting a remote ID error and it would not take off. Have you guys had this happen? I wonder if it's like phones, like when you've had your phone for a couple of years, I swear they send out that bad update that makes it start acting like garbage and it makes you want to go buy a new phone. I swear, I don't know what happened there. But I couldn't fly the POS. I could fly the Mini 3 Pro. But yeah, I was pretty aggravated about a remote ID error. I don't know what that's about. Let's see. Missed opportunity not to call her cat Tabby Jean. That's pretty hilarious, but Ice is a boy, and we mostly just call him Key because he's a key cat, but he gets called Ice when he's in trouble, and then his ears go back and his eyes get big and he runs away. Oh, Chris Hope captured the eclipse. Oh, awesome. I'm going to go check that out. Wait, what? She'll get another chance. Wait, what? What did I miss? Oh, I missed a lot. I'm going backwards. All right. Donald said there are thousands of shorts made of the eclipse. Why would YouTube push out just one of them? Because Max's was excellent. And I always feel like when you have a lot of activity and you get a ton of likes, like more than usual, like that's usually a sign to like send it out. This one must be good. Thank you, Michael. He said he loves the cat. He's a good boy. Yes, Andrew, Jasper was chasing the planes, and it was a little crazy because he can't hear that well anymore. So like I don't want him to run too much because he's an older guy about to turn 15. But yeah, he's chasing the plane and I'm trying to call him and he doesn't hear me. And I'm like, Jasper, Jasper. And then I'm trying like my mean voice. I'm like, Jasper. But he doesn't hear anything. He did eventually like stop and come back to us. And then I had to like keep him on a leash so that he didn't chase the plane. But I didn't have a leash with me because we were all the way out at the back of the field. So you know what I used? I used my wire. I used my wire that I need for remote ID on the POS. But since the remote ID wasn't working on the POS, I just used that wire to be Jasper's leash. That's what I did. Just so he wouldn't hurt himself. Do you have a close-up photo of that typewriter on your shelf to your left? So I'm assuming you mean this one, which is the wide carriage typewriter. And I don't know. I wonder if I could bring... All right, let's try it. Sorry, I hope you don't get sick. Oh no, the wire's stuck. The wire's still stuck. Maybe I can't get that close. Well, I got a little closer. If the wire wasn't tangled up, I would do better, but yeah, I'll try. I'll try, Paul. I'll try for next week on that. But yeah, I have a few old typewriters, but that one is pretty cool because it is the wide one. Let's see. Oh, you like that bit about the eclipse? What about Max saying he wasn't going to be around for the next one? Oh gosh. I substitute the ham for tomatoes and onions. And yes, pineapples. Oh my God. I mean, maybe someday. Maybe someday I'll do it. Max mowing and doing handyman work. Yeah, he always helps. He always helps. How many chickens and goats were sacrificed on Monday? Uncle Bill, I don't know, but that's a crazy thought. All right, I'm very far behind. Let's see. Oh my gosh, totally true. You cannot call a black and white cat Tabby. I'll have to get a new cat. An additional cat. Oh, the weatherman said the same thing for you, Andrew. Oh, you saw a partial. Okay, good. I mean, I think it's cool no matter where you are, but it's easier to do an eclipse in 2024. We had one in 1976. Was that a total? Because I just learned what an annular one is. Oh, here we go. So partial eclipse, you just see like a little bite out of it, like a Pac-Man. The annular eclipse, the moon doesn't completely cover the sun. So you still have sun peeking around on the outside, and you have to wear your glasses the entire time. Whereas the total eclipse, the moon completely covers the sun, and you can take your glasses off and see that awesome corona around it and darkness around you. I don't know. I thought it was so magical. Okay, let me see where I was. I think I'm lost. Oh, Mercury Moyes is here. Good to see you. Super special. Cool. Steve Barnett brought a bunch of glasses. Oh, to South Florida. Oh my gosh, yes. Max used that song. I thought I don't know. I thought his short was best. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Bailey's Beads. I knew I read about that, Dominic, but I couldn't think of what it was. Yeah, when it starts to peek out and you just see those little bit of beads because of the craters on the moon. Ooh, 98% totality at the house. Oh, that's awesome, Bob. Wasn't it crazy? Like when it's that much, the sky, everything is dimmer. Like it doesn't go dark, but it looks like you're wearing really, really dark sunglasses, or you're looking through dark tint on a car. Like the light looked so weird at that time. Yes, Max has been busy. Max is always busy, Bob. He doesn't sit down much. Oh, you saw nothing? That's too bad, Lambo. No zombies, no superpowers. It was disappointing. Yes, the sparkly bits right before the sun reappears. Yeah, I thought the whole thing was so cool. Okay. Oh, Jeffrey Smith. Do I need to? Oh no, he has French. Well, then I think I haven't seen you in a while, Jeffrey Smith. Thanks for being here. I'm trying to scroll down. I'm trying to get through the chat, and I'm so behind. Ooh, Blinded by the Light was released in 1976, same time as the eclipse in Australia. That would have been a good song to do a short to. You know what song I was thinking of, but I didn't do any shorts. I was thinking She Blinded Me with Science, because I kept talking about science when I was trying to get my dad to look at the eclipse. All right. I'm scrolling faster now, you guys, because I feel like I have so much more, and I've almost been on for an hour already. TJ's going to bed. All right. Oh, no, I didn't see that, Don. Red Bull team recreated their logo with airplanes flying through the eclipse. I'm gonna have to look that up. That sounds awesome. Okay. I'm gonna have to catch up and chat with you. I've got so much to do. And I have a lot to talk about. Let me go back to everything I pulled for today. Oh, I was going to show one video. Eat More Possum is here, I think. And this is a quick little video, but I thought it was cool. You know, everyone's making their clips videos, but his was a little bit different. Here we go. Did you see what he did there? I thought it was cool the way everything went dark. Let me show it one more time. And you could almost see that light effect along the horizon. That was Eat More Possum. I like that one. Herman's here, Phantom Flight 101. Good to see you, Herman. Okay, so moving on, because I have a lot. Okay, quick question for you guys, because this kind of blew my mind a little bit. Why all the negativity? Whenever people were online talking about seeing the eclipse, where they were going to see it, going to a national park or a state park or Niagara Falls, there were always a bunch of people in the chat, more people than were positive, were negative. I hope it snows. It's going to be cloudy. Ah ha ha. Can't wait for millions to be disappointed. Like, why is everybody so negative? Like, it seemed like I kept looking up things about the eclipse and, you know, how to photograph it, where to see it, what just details, whatever. And wherever I went online, there was like, oh, I don't know why people are going crazy. It's just a few minutes long, and all I have to do is look up. Oh, I'm sorry. How many of these have we had in the past? And why is everyone freaking out about this one? You know, it's just a solar eclipse. We've had them before. We'll probably have them again. I was like, what is with all the negativity? Like, I don't get it. Like, I really don't get it. Like, what is that about? I don't know. Oh, these people just want to see the world burn like me. Come on, Cliff. I don't like that. I really don't. Like, projecting their inability to get there. Well, maybe. I don't know, but I was shocked by how many people were just like, "Oh, I hope it's cloudy. I hope it snows." Like, what? I don't know. I don't understand that kind of negativity, I guess, or that kind of meanness. Hey, Doug is here. Aerial images by Doug. Chris Hope is here. So not to bring it all down, but speaking of negativity, I know I will probably get called out for being Miss Conflicts and Controversies, but uh, this happened. Was it last week and a half ago? Oh no, almost 2 weeks ago, this happened, and I was really shocked by it. And I don't know if you guys caught it, if you guys heard about it, but there was some pretty intense negativity on Paul Murray's stream. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Actually, Dominic was there. Oh, hey, Nomad is here. I have a video from Nomad in just a little bit. He's the one that I tried to test out the copyright thing. Nomad, I was saying I was slightly late because I wasn't sure about your music, so I uploaded it to my channel just so it would run the checks, and the channel said it was okay. So I'm going to play your video later. So yeah, I feel like I wanted to talk about this, and I wanted to talk about it before the end of the year because I just felt like sometimes people like to sweep things under the carpet. Oh, let's let that go. That's in the past. Let's leave it alone. And I don't like that because I feel like that's why things repeat themselves because people like to sweep things under the carpet. So, anyway, there was some extreme negativity, hateful words on Paul Murray's stream 2 weeks ago. Not Paul Murray's fault at all. It started on the panel, and I don't know. I was shocked to hear it, and I was shocked to hear it in our community. So I think first, I have a few clips I wanted to play because I do want to talk about it. But I think that I'm first going to play a little bit of the aftermath because what happened was hate speech came out on Paul Murray's stream, and that stream was shut down pretty much immediately, and it was restarted. So I'm going to start with people talking about what happened, but I am going to show you what happened. But here's people talking about it.
Same here, Jonathan, I hope you guys tell Jonathan I'm so sorry about what happened when I was messing with the drone and not paying attention to the chat.
He was in the chat when it occurred. He was on the panel along with Jonathan, and I didn't hear that third conversation.
I didn't hear the actual word.
I heard it and kept trying to bring it to attention, but we seem to be more transfixed on the mini 3 problem.
Right. And I don't say it's anybody's fault other than the ones who spoke the words. Those who did hear it or whatever, don't let your emotions transfer over to Paul.
Yeah.
This is still Paul's show. You brought to our attention, which I'm sure Paul appreciates that.
Yes, I do.
Other people may be very upset about what transpired, but you cannot transfer your feelings, your hurt, your pain onto the host. Because I can tell you right now, I'm 62 years old. I've been called a lot of things in my life that are besides the name my parents gave me. Okay, so I don't get overexcited over verbal chit chat unless you're the person who's signing my checks. Most things you say to me don't mean anything to me. And those who I would say violated the social norms will understand their transgression and will hopefully become adult enough to apologize for their actions, because I'm sure whatever transpired didn't need to get to that level.
No.
Unless that's the type of person you truly are.
So it didn't seem that there was an altercation of any kind. It sounded like, well, I heard it, and it sounded like word was said twice, and I don't know. I don't know that. I don't know that I agree with the excuse that was presented for it. Things don't need to be swept under the carpet, but we also don't need to spread it around. Well, I guess I feel like I'm not sure that I agree with you, Don, because I feel like I'm shocked that it's still said in the way that it was said. I'm surprised that it's said amongst like grown adults in the way that it was said. I'm surprised, and I don't feel like I don't know. Let's keep it quiet. I don't think that educates anyone or makes it go away. So it was a hot mic, and we weren't supposed to hear it anyway. I mean, I think there's a few interpretations for the way it went down, but I don't know. No matter who it was aimed at, unacceptable. It was upsetting to see. I agree, Paul, and I feel like I just feel like, people don't want to talk about hard issues. That's what I think. Like back in the day when, like, like if we were sitting around my grandparents' table, my grandmother would have been like, "Did you hear about Ellie? She's got the cancer." Like she almost didn't want to talk about, like she wanted to talk about, but she didn't want to talk about it. Like we shouldn't talk about it, and I feel like when you take topics and you make like, let's not talk about it, let's make it go away, it's not going to go away. So, I feel like it should be brought up and it should be talked about. I don't know. Mark said he heard it and had to leave. It was disgraceful. And that's kind of like part two, is that I feel like whether it was directed at people on the panel or directed at people he saw in the street as he was driving, I'm just shocked that like it seemed to flow out of this person's mouth like it was any other word. Like, I don't know. I feel like, and there was quite a variety of reactions to it, I guess. Some people were really shocked as well. And some people were like, he didn't mean it. It's not directed at anybody. It's not a big deal. So, I don't know. I just feel like, it's better to talk about it and get it out in the open and maybe explain why, it's wrong. Maybe if it wasn't directed at anyone on the panel, it's still wrong. It still creates a horrible, negative, hateful atmosphere that no one wants to be a part of. So I was surprised to see that in the community. So, oh, Bob said he wishes this wasn't brought up. I'm sorry, Bob. Like, I try to keep things fun, but every once in a while, like, if this is a community, like, why can't we talk about it? Why can't we talk about how to be better? It's a difficult topic for sure, but making the air clean with all this by airing it out just a little is healthy. Thank you, Mark. I mean, I think so, but I know everyone feels very differently about it. A lot of people thought it wasn't a big deal. Jeffrey said, I have no clue what happened. Guess I'm marked safe. All right. There was a lot more talk going on. So here's a little bit more explanation.
Just never use that word in any
in
any circumstance,
this is all about
regardless of
something.
what he's doing.
Hi, Sarah.
This is all about something that Chuck had said.
Yeah, he used a very naughty word.
He used the N-word.
Oh. And Jonathan was on the panel when he said it?
Oh, yeah, he called it. He called Jonathan out.
Oh, shit.
Listen up. Chuck is in the chat. He is apologizing to everyone in the chat of what occurred. So, like I say, let him be who he is. If he's willing to apologize in front of everybody, take him at his word.
If I was mad at one of my friends of your color, Dre, or if Jonathan's listening in, I would never, ever say that word to somebody's face.
Do you see Chuck in the chat?
Like I said, TJ, I've been called a number of things in my lifetime, and because of the professions I've worked in, it's been kind of like an added to insult. You're an police officer. You're this and that and everything else. So I can say it's something that comes with the territory of being what I am, but it's not who I am. I don't answer to that name, so I don't really let it control my.
We were talking about my drone, and I'm not sure. Somebody says that hot mics are not good.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. That's when, like I say, people reveal themselves sometimes at the most improper times.
So I'm just reading through while I was playing, and I see everyone has very different opinions. Bob said, some things are better off man to man, not the whole world all over again. But not everybody knows that it happened. And just the fact that like if we all just keep, whoever saw it on Paul Murray's, if, that group there just kept it secret amongst themselves, let's not let this get out. Let's let them handle. You know what? I don't feel like we're making the world a better place. I don't know if we're going to, but I just don't feel like that. I don't feel like it helps anything to sweep it under the rug. I also don't think it helps to, like, I don't know. What more can be done? He felt bad about it. I feel no sympathy, but why open wounds? Whose wounds? I mean, I think a lot of people were offended and shocked. Jonathan's in the chat. He was shocked. I don't know. Like, I feel like let's all be quiet and wait for it to go away doesn't make it go away. That's a fact. Even if, oh no, Uncle Bill, one person doesn't reflect the entire community. I absolutely agree with you. I don't think that it's something that's running rampant through the drone community, but crazy enough, it is out there in a lot of communities. My daughter's in the gaming community. She's actually a really good gamer. Like, she plays with like top gamers who are like making money at this, and she's really good. But she finds herself in situations where she just has to leave a group because she finds that there are a lot of just like nasty racial hateful talk going on in some of these communities, and she doesn't feel comfortable in that kind of setting and she leaves. But like, I just feel like even though it doesn't reflect the entire community, like, I feel like it's better to put it out there, get it out there and say, look, no one likes this. It's not just Jonathan who doesn't like this, or it's not just, Dre was making the most sense that day. Well, Dre was speaking from his point of view. He's had to hear that word a lot in his lifetime, according to what he was saying. And I guess he's gotten to a point where he could let it roll off his back. Like, he just doesn't let these people affect him anymore. But, everyone feels differently about things because everyone comes from a different place. Everyone has had different experiences. And, for people who are saying like, oh, it's just a word, like, you don't know what people have been through. I mean, you know what else is just a word, and a word that you hear all through elementary school, middle school, high school? Retard. Retard is just a word, right? But what if your sibling was like mentally challenged and you saw people make fun of them all through school, calling them retard, idiot, dummy, whatever? Like, what if your child was mentally challenged and, I'm sure it's a knife in your heart every time you see someone call them a retard? Like, wouldn't that word mean a little something different to you? Like, maybe other people could be like, it's just a word, like, so what? But you don't know people's past, you don't know their experiences. And I think there are some words that are pretty much generally known to be hurtful, like that's their purpose, to be hurtful, to be hateful. So, Dre, speaking from his point of view, he's gotten to a point where he doesn't let things affect him. But that doesn't mean that, anyone else who was affected, it doesn't mean that their reaction is wrong, So I'm being so controversial tonight. I see everyone being like, so I feel like we're divided over it. And I'm sorry. But again, I don't feel like things get better by sweeping it under the carpet. And it's not something that everybody was aware of. And so I don't know. Gamers will throw any nasty insult they can at you. It's kind of sadly almost part of the culture. I think it's a tactic to rile people up at times. Well, Cliff, my daughter like lives in that culture, and there are definitely some crowds that she just can't hang around because it's just too hateful and nasty. And I can't dwell on this. This doesn't merit long discussion. Well, you know, okay, good night, Uncle Bill. I mean, I don't feel like we're going to discuss it for weeks or anything, but you know, I was going to bring it up tonight before I moved on about it because, you know, again, I was surprised. Still, when a person screws up, do we want to drive that person away, or should there be a path for redemption? Certainly, Don. And I feel, okay, I think yes, there should be. And starting with, he was in the chat and he was apologizing. And that is, you know, Dre did speak to that. At least he was being a stand-up person and apologizing. However, I heard the original and I kind of didn't buy he almost got into an accident because it wasn't said in that way. So apologizing, yes. Delivering it with an excuse of why it was said, no. So that's just my opinion. If you wanted to say, I apologize, that was wrong and it should never be said, agreed and cool. But the additional, and here's the reason I said it, I didn't feel like that was the correct way to deliver an apology. So, Jonathan, I call all of you family. So for someone I respected to come out their face with that, yeah, you can ignore it all your life. I damn sure cannot. You know, again, I think people feel differently due to their experiences, whatever. But I don't think it's fair to say it's just a word. When you hear it in its context, you will know. Oh. Right. Was he sorry that he got caught saying it or that he said it? I see the question that you're asking. Cool Cat said, personally, I pray that the individuals affected by the hurty word can recover and start to live a functional life again. Well, obviously there's some sarcasm in there, Cool Cat. But why did he use that word? I'm not sure, Dominic. I'm not sure. All right, I'm gonna play another clip.
I would say this right now by Chuck coming back on here and apologizing.
Yeah,
that tells me he is a stand-up person.
Yeah,
Police coming back and apologizing.
Yeah, because I see Chuck said, "I'm so sorry. I almost got hit again," which means he was driving.
Right.
And Chuck says he's still shaking.
But we all have said things when we've almost gotten hit that maybe
I've never used that word.
Never used that
I've been
word.
in several car accidents and never used that word.
So
Well, I'm
Chuck,
saying
Chuck was
it's something we regret. Almost
Chuck was
getting hit.
driving when he said it. And,
Well, we don't know.
Well, that's the allegation.
So yes, Chuck did apologize in the chat, and he asked for a way to contact Jonathan to apologize personally. I mean, that's good too, because I think that's probably necessary. I don't know. when I heard the original, I was less impressed with anything because it just seemed like it flowed very easily, and and even when people were kind of like calling it out a little bit. Mark was there. Mark hadn't really heard it, but he realized that there was some arguing going on, and he was like, "Hey, let's get back to trying to help Paul with his drone. Let's not argue with Chuck." And he was just kind of like, "Yeah, don't argue with me." And I was like, it doesn't. I don't know. It wasn't a good look. Yeah, Al, in certain communities, between certain people, absolutely. But the context in which it's being said when it's said. So this wasn't one of those. Right. But I think you know when it is and you know when it isn't. So I hear what you're saying. You don't use the word unless you think it first. This incident may cause Chuck to start thinking differently. Well, that's what I'm hoping to, Don. Because, yeah, I agree with you. Like, he did say it slipped out, but how does it slip out? Like, it's got to be right here on the tip of your tongue or right here on the tip of your brain for it to, slip out. So, yeah, I think maybe it's could be a good a learning moment, I guess. And again, that's I don't think we're necessarily all trying to track down one person and whatever, like parade them through town square. But on the other hand, like I do think it's important to know that these things are still happening out here amongst grown adults, and it shouldn't be. So maybe it should be a learning moment for everybody. That's really just not acceptable. Let's see. Well, let me play the last little clip that I pulled. Yes, Dre was definitely Dre was a good person to speak on it. I think he did bring a lot of composure and sense to the situation, but I think he saw it for what it was as well.
Now, the only thing else I would add to that is, like, say, we need to not get in, as we back in the old high school day, getting little cliques and little groups of us versus them type of mentality. I mean, this is something that does occur in our society or any society across the globe. My thing is, I don't want anybody picking sides.
No, we've addressed it. We've addressed it and put it behind us, and let them work it out, because it's just not acceptable on my channel.
So yeah, I know that Paul felt horrible about it. Dre did absolutely want to make sure that no one was blaming the host. It wasn't his fault. And I don't think anybody would. Some people were blaming the hot mic because, maybe we weren't meant to hear what he was saying, but then I guess he shouldn't have it on. I think that was part two, is that like, if that is part of your vocabulary, you certainly know that it is not acceptable to bring that to any community. I don't know. I think most people, even if they thought certain things or felt certain things, I think they still know that they should have a filter on saying certain things. But Wedge, racism has no place. We can't change some people, but it's much better to change what we can and be better examples. Be the better person and care about each other. Absolutely agree. And I think too, Donald was saying, I'm not apologizing for Chuck or the word, I'm arguing for redemption. I think of Daryl Davis when we talk about this. I agree with you, Don. Like, but also I guess that's why I just kind of wanted to put it out there, because I don't think the path to redemption or making the world a better place is by, okay, it's all behind us. We talked about it. Let's move on. Let's not talk about it anymore. It just brings up a sore subject. Like, I don't think that's necessarily the way forward either. So I know that not everybody was present to hear it, and I know maybe that's how some people would prefer it, but I think it's better to bring it out in the open, air it out, and then let it go. Not just like, oh, okay, he said it, he said sorry, let's move on, let's not talk, So just my opinion. I'm sure people disagree. Uh-oh, Cliff, trying desperately to lighten the mood somewhat. Should we do a GoFundMe for Dom so he can learn to drive? He said he's been in lots of car accidents. He did say that. Well, someone said a word. Dre was the right person to make sense of it, and he was making a lot of sense. It's a shame that identity politics plays in a part in what people say, but here we are. Well, Cool Cat, I feel like there's always you can call, oh, it's just a word, but it's not. It's a word with a very long and nasty history. And if you feel that it's just a word and that people are overreacting, then congratulations. I'm happy for you. And I mean that. I'm happy for you that you've never experienced anything that would make you feel horrible about a word. If you think it's just a word, and a lot of words are also just words, then you have not experienced the things that would make you feel otherwise. So I'm glad you haven't. I'm just saying that maybe have a little bit more understanding and patience towards people who might actually be offended to hear it, because maybe they've gone through different things that make it feel differently for them. So we can change people, but we can't change them unless they are part of our community. Driving him out lessens the chance of change. I agree with you, Donald. And you know what, Donald, I feel like always has a very positive outlook on things. And I appreciate that about him. He doesn't ever want to exclude anyone. And I feel like his outlook is one of like, we can all be better and let's help people be better. And that's certainly a commendable stance to take. I know that you're just trying to crack bad jokes, Clifffield. I already know that. Yeah, he was on the panel, mic only. I mean, I have the original clip and I sort of beeped out the word. I don't know if it's worth playing it, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like I feel like it gives a little bit of what's the word? Context, because I know some people are saying it came out of nowhere. It was said without context, but also the way it came out. I don't know. It was bothersome the way it came out. It was interesting to see the chat. I took out people's names because I agree with Dre. Let's not take sides. Let's not, be in high school and make everyone go off into factions. But some people were like, hey, we understand you weren't directing abuse at anyone. It's just a word. Chuck's a good person. Tell Jonathan you didn't mean it towards him. There were also people like, you know, it takes courage to apologize. That is true. Inexcusable, nothing warrants that crap. You know, call someone an a-hole if needed. You don't have to use words like that. So, I mean, people's reactions were really kind of all over the map. I'm simply putting this issue into a balanced perspective. Thank you for the advice, though. It's been filled in the appropriate receptacle. Okay. Yeah, I kind of agree with you, Joe. Like, I don't know that I actually want to play it. I thought about it. I do have it. Herman said you could play it. No one cares. We've had to hear about it thus far. Till the tape. You would have to play a few minutes prior to gain the context. I don't really have the few minutes prior, Dre. I only have what was said and the immediate reaction afterwards. So that's why I feel like it might be out of context. I'm not sure the discussion that was happening. I don't know why it came out. I'm not sure. It stinks only getting to hear one side of a terrible thing. It's been an awesome 20-minute struggle session. All right. I don't know how I feel about it, but you know, when I did the year in review, I had all these fun things from the year in review. And then, you know, first time I ever did conflicts and controversies, I was like pulling all these times that people fought, you know, all the different, you know, the bigger fights that happened in the community, you know, and this one's against that one and whatever. But this year, a couple months ago, I only pulled things that I felt like maybe we could take a lesson from it. You know, it's not just two people bickering. It's something that has like a little deeper lesson behind it, and maybe we could all learn from it. Those were the things that I pulled, I thought. And people may not agree, but I tried to find a lesson in everything that I pulled. And so, you know, this probably would be a conflicts and controversies next year, but I almost didn't want to let this just sit until then, because I felt like I wanted to air it out or help Jonathan air it out, or I don't know, just kind of illustrate for me a context where that behavior is acceptable. None. That's the thing. Like, I don't know. I guess that kind of settles that. Like, would the few minutes prior and putting it into context actually help it sound any better or sound any worse? Like, what was said was said. Good point. I don't think the context is really going to help. It's not really a struggle session unless you think the word is acceptable. Most of us agree that what was said was wrong. We just differ on what the reaction should be. Agreed, Don. I felt like I was surprised that the reactions were kind of all over the place. Oh, Dan is back and he likes to bicker. So yeah, I don't know that it would help to hear it. I don't know that it would help to hear what was said or the immediate reaction afterwards. But I wanted to air it out, and I didn't want to save it for end of the year. I felt like it should be aired out now. So, you know, or as soon as possible after it happened, I guess. It was almost 2 weeks ago. So, so there it is. Do you want to see a video? I'm not really sure. Oh no, year in review inspired you to come here for Mary Burke talk. You're not going to get that here, Coach. And from what I've seen, I haven't, you know, with this weekend being away and everything, I haven't spent a lot of time on YouTube. But from what I've seen, Art is now on to. He's got a little Bucky puppet from, you know, like the little beaver. So I think we might be into Bucky jokes now, but I haven't been able to catch up with what Art's doing. But I don't know. I'm sure there's still more Mary Burke. My ball, I can see your perspective. I'm sort of on the fence about the overall reaction myself, but better to openly discuss it than not, in my honest opinion. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it should be a not allowed topic to discuss. I know nobody likes to, and nobody wants to, and it's uncomfortable what happened, and it's uncomfortable that people disagree, even about the reactions of it. Was it a big deal? Was it not a big deal? So, okay, we went to the tough topics this week, you know, sorry. Nobody believes it's appropriate. I don't agree with the overblown response. Well, context is everything. I mean, I guess my opinion is there probably is no context where it would be appropriate. So I may agree with what the others have said, where there's really just not a place for it. But not sure what you're all talking about. Sorry, Coach, you just showed up. I'm not going to rehash it, but we were talking about racist words that were spoken recently on a live stream. So, no, you clearly agree with the statement, being that you're defending it. Well, yeah, I think we're not all definitely agreeing here, and I'm trying not to. I wanted to air it out, but as Dre was saying in his immediate reaction on the live stream, like, let's not all break up into factions about it. You know, one person said it, maybe a lot of people feel differently about it. It is a tough topic, and it's one where everyone comes from a different place as far as their reaction to it. I really feel like your reaction to it is reflective of the place that you're coming from. Grumpy is a new member to my channel. Thank you so much, Lloyd. I appreciate that. All right. All right, before I completely drop it, I'm going to tell you a quick story that someone told me. There was a young woman just graduating high school, looking at colleges. She was from Minnesota. She was on her way across several states. I'm not going to name the state she was going to, but she was on her way to check out a college that was very well known for the major that she was going for and the degree that she was going for. She was very excited to check out this school. Her boyfriend drove. The two of them drove to the school, checked it out, very much liked it. On the way out of town, they were pulled over. You know, where are you headed? How long were you here? What are you up to? You know, and they answered all the questions and they moved on. And 5 minutes later, they were pulled over again. Where are you going? Where were you? You know, what are you doing? What are you guys up to? And so they weren't answering the questions quite as enthusiastically as they did the first time. The third time they were pulled over on their way out of town, they hadn't even made it to the highway yet. The girl just sat there crying because she knew she was not going to go to this school. Obviously, she was a Black girl, and they were being pulled over because they were two Black kids driving through, perhaps. I don't want to describe the town, but I mean, you can assume what you want to assume from the officers that were pulling them over. So those two kids might have a different opinion of that word than other people might have of that word due to their experiences. That's all I'm trying to say. So I don't want to argue about it. I don't want to cause any more argument in the chat, but I feel like it's happening. Let's see. Yeah, there's a lot happening. Peter only watches a couple of the drone live streams these days. Most of them don't interest me anymore. You know, I used to, I think when I first found out how many were on, I think from Johnny Drone Flyer's schedule, I used to watch a bunch of them. And I mean, it was kind of cool to go around and see all different people in the community and see, you know, what was going on all these different live streams. I think a lot of them are actually a lot of fun. At the end of the day, though, you could spend all night, every night, or all day after work until you go to bed on live streams, you know, in the chat, seeing what's going on. There's a lot, like the whole schedule is full. So yeah, at some point, I think you probably have to pull back a little bit and pick and choose the ones you're going to watch, because there are kind of too many. But I think everyone sort of finds their way into, if it's not one that they like, at least a time slot that they like. You know, for me, not every time slot really works well for me. So even though I feel like some of my favorites, I don't even get to see that much because the timing just doesn't work out for me, you know. I think that we all kind of settle on a few that we find we can either make due to our schedule, or we find our favorites. Let's see. Cool Cat, you're thinking about this as an intellectual exercise. Jonathan is dealing with an emotional reaction. He has a right to his anger. That's all I'm trying to say, Don. I agree with you. Like, people are going to react differently to it, depending on their experiences, depending on if they feel the word was directed towards them. None of you can understand how I feel because it doesn't affect you. Had I made a racist statement, it would have affected 98% of the community, and you all would have felt what I feel. Yeah, it's, you know, I guess that's what I'm asking, is just to be a little more patient and understanding with everyone, because everyone comes from a different place. Joe said, I do my best to try to empathize and sympathize, knowing that other people have very different lives than I've had. I feel like that's basic empathy. I agree. It's like you don't know, and you'll never know what other people are feeling or where they're coming from, but you can at least try to empathize and understand. And also, just from a societal perspective, know that certain things are wrong to say. Cliff said, I used to watch Ken Heron all the time. That's how I came across Tammie Jean. Can't watch Ken anymore, just can't. I'm sure he's a cool guy, just cannot watch his streams anymore. I do feel, Cliff, that sometimes you kind of run out of steam on certain streams. Maybe you could go back to them in the future. Maybe they just kind of ran their course for you. I know it's hard to keep up with them all, though. It definitely is. Yeah, Wedge just said it's impossible to keep up with all the shows. I spend a ton of time working on my show, and I usually have to lurk to catch a bunch of them or watch replays. Same, Wedge. I think it got to a point where I felt like, you know, I could either spend all night, every night, watching other people's live streams, or I could take a little time and work on my own. So that is what I ended up doing. And then, of course, there has to be like time for real life, right? So I try not to work on the stream nowadays. I would say in the past couple months, it's been my rule not to work on the stream, like after 5 o'clock or on the weekends. Like I want to try to, I can usually sneak stuff in during work hours. So that's what I try to do. All right. Oh, I'm way behind in the chat. Okay. Hey, JSK is here. Good to see you. Sorry if I've skipped over a bunch of things because, okay, I'm to the bottom. Okay, sorry guys. I'm gonna play a video. As I was telling you earlier, I was a little late to the stream because Nomad had sent me a video and I didn't want to play it because of the music source is not my music source. I'm trying to stay monetized, so I wasn't going to play it. But then right before the stream, as I'm sitting here adjusting the lights and my microphone, which I hope this sounds okay tonight, I was thinking, well, I could just upload it to my channel real quick and let my channel run the checks and see if they're gonna pull a copyright claim or not. So that's what I did. Like at 9:53, right before my stream, I uploaded this video to my channel. I deleted it. I didn't publish it, but just so that YouTube would run the checks for me. And they said that there were no copyright issues. So, no, I didn't. No, actually, a lot of times I have been sent videos. I'm told the music is copyright free, and then I've got a claim on it. It's happened more times than I can count at this point. So that's why I decided to just run it. And yeah, so it was fine. So this is a collaboration. Joe, Nomad Ariel, took footage from Lambo Drive Zambo and he colored it. So I don't know if you're all aware, but on Joe's channel, he's got a live stream. And Joe, you can say in the chat your date and time because I know you changed recently. And I don't know what your date and time is now. So if you could put it in the chat, he talks about color grading. And this is his area of expertise. And so I am going to play the first part of this video. It is probably about 4 minutes long. I'm going to give you the first two. And actually, I think he did a beautiful job of color grading the footage. And I think that he did a little sound design as well. So let's all chill out for now and check out this this color grading masterpiece with footage from Lambo and color grading from Nomad. sorry. So that wasn't the edited version. I did the edited version right before the show, and I just played the full thing. But so Joe's stream is called Cult of Color, and it's on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern. And he's saying to check out the HDR of that video here, because you know what I just played. I'm sure is not doing it justice at all. Downloaded, replayed on a stream. It never does it justice. It's supposed to just encourage you to go to the channel and check it out and leave a comment and leave a like. So, I saw there were a lot of questions on the color grading, which Joe is answering. Yeah, I know. I cut it, and then that's not the one that was in my folder. I had the original in my folder. Right, Janine? It was great. And the soundtrack too, for sure. The whole vibe was really nice. Yeah, soundtrack is rad. The footage from Lambo is great. I love the steam coming off of those train cars full of coal. All the shots it got were really nice. And then Joe really kicked them up in the color grading. So, and put it to a nice soundtrack. It was a great collaboration overall. Trying to compose some third-person shots at night is difficult. Well, what are you up to, JP Spin? She chopped out some trees. I did. I wasn't trying to chop anything out. Hey, Droning Veteran is here. You know what? I think there was a video that Droning Veteran had recently that I thought was really cool, and I was going to ask him if I could play it on the stream, but I don't know. I was away this weekend, and I ran out of time a little bit, but maybe next week. Let's see. Ooh, you're going to do more work together. Yeah, I mean, I thought that was a great collaboration. I think you certainly should. Yeah, you didn't miss anything, Dan. Not at all. Not at all. You didn't miss anything. I talked way too much for the past 2 hours. Let me see if I had anything else in this file. Oh, I did want to ask Donald. You know, last week I played a video from Mudball Don featuring Fisheye, but I told him that this week I would play one of his drone videos, and I did want to ask him what his music source was in his Enchanted Highway video, because I thought that was really cool. But I didn't have time to do that. I do have it queued up if he tells me it's something that I could play and that won't copyright claim me. But yeah, I know that Don had mentioned the Enchanted Highway before, because Max and I are hoping to take a cross-country trip next year, and Donald recommended this Enchanted Highway as something that should be part of our road trip. So yeah, I did want to play it, but I didn't know about the music. So, oh, thank you, Dan. Thank you. Yeah, I really like that one where you're flying at that real, I don't know, it was a crazy looking place, and the music sounded like Star Wars. I thought it was really cool. But I don't know if I pulled it, so maybe for next week. Let me check real quick. So I had downloaded some stuff, and I didn't really have time to ask people if I could play it. So nope. Okay, I didn't pull it for this week, but I would like to play it next week. I also had trouble looking at videos right before the show because I watched a video and it was with a 360 camera. And so at first I just watched the video. I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I saw that it was a 360 camera. I was like, oh, I could have been moving it around. So I watched it again and I was pulling the view this way and that way. I was looking down, I was looking up. I made myself sick. And when I do that, like my head actually gets very spinny and I can't watch any more drone videos. Like I've already got motion sickness and I just can't do it. So after I watched that, and it wasn't this person's fault, it was my fault. I made myself sick and then I couldn't watch anymore. So that was the end of me pulling videos tonight. Yes, that's what it was. It was an old solar farm that turned into a fraud. Like something real scammy happened with this solar farm. But as far as a place to fly, it was really cool. All right, definitely. Everyone is a shill. Cliff likes that word, shill. Oh, Cult of Color website is coming. You'll be able to hire me to grade your footage. That's a great idea, Joe. Oh, I'm suppressing a yawn. Sorry. But yeah, that's a great idea. I think that you would be a great person to hire out for color grading. Let's see. Have I gone through everything? I don't know. I don't know if anyone answered me on the remote ID error. I was wondering if anyone else has seen that in the Fly app. Hey, Dan, you have the POS, right? Droning Veteran, Dan? I feel like I was telling everybody earlier, you weren't here, but I had gotten a remote ID error on my Fly app, and I wasn't able to take off with my POS this weekend. Just wondering if you've ever seen that, because I know you're a POS guy too, right? You're not a Nevada guy, right? I think you were a POS guy. Just curious if you've ever had trouble with your remote ID. No, it's late for me. There goes another one. Reasonable pricing for fellow drone pilots. Very nice. I do have it. I haven't flown it in a while. See? I hadn't flown mine in a while, and I took it out this weekend when we were in Ohio. We were away for the weekend. I took it out. I was excited to fly it, and I got a remote ID error, and I couldn't even lift off. So that was a little upsetting. And it could be that I do need to update it, but usually the Fly app tells me that I need to update, and it didn't say that, so. Remote ID, what's that? Haha, suckers. I'm so happy the kids who graffiti the top of that grain elevator I filmed them on have covered all the penis. They are pretty skilled hooligans. Oh, okay. The ever-changing graffiti world, right? Oh, you do have both. You need to update the POS. Yeah, well, maybe I need to update mine. Oh, Grumpy's behind on his naps. Oh, he didn't take any naps at South Florida. Lloyd, I hope you had a good time. I haven't been able to catch up on South Florida drone meetup videos, but I was hoping to see you in some of them, having a good time down there in Florida, enjoying the nice weather. No, I'm probably gonna have to bail too pretty soon, Lloyd, because I feel that I'm winding down on my energy level. But thanks for being here, Lloyd, and thanks for being my new member. Hey, I forgot what I was gonna say. All right, so next week It's not confirmed. I have to give my guest a call and see if she's still up for being on the show next week. But I believe I will have a guest next week, a female pilot. I am excited for you to meet her. Oh, Lloyd said he had a blast down there. Oh, I'm glad. We weren't able to go this year, just wasn't in the cards. Sorry, or the finances, but it's a great time. I'm glad you got to go, Lloyd. It's really nice to see everybody. I've never understood why young lads draw that. Shouldn't we be drawing other things? Yeah, right, Cliff? Like, I don't know. It is kind of fun. No, next week is not more drama. Cliff, next week is going to be, I think, an awesome female pilot. And I'm very excited for you to meet her. So I will confirm that. And when I confirm it, I will put out the thumbnail early, hopefully, so you'll know what's coming, and you'll all be excited with me for I believe to be a very cool interview, cool videos, and just a we like to mix it up around here. So I think it'll be fun to have a guest next week and talk to a pilot that you may not be familiar with. So I'm sure you will all go sub her channel. I know that you guys are all so loyal. I know you'll go and sub her channel and make it worthwhile that she's on the show. But yeah, so hopefully that'll be next week. And I think that is, oh wait, I'm going to see what JP said. I'm trying to get some long exposure shots of my plane with loads of LEDs in the dark. Oh, you absolutely need someone to follow you with an Avata or even like a Mini 3 Pro. I know that's pretty good at night. I've been liking the night shots. So you'd need something that's good at night for sure, but you definitely need someone to chase you, JP. That would be awesome to see. All right, so that's it for tonight, everyone. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being part of the conversation. I'm glad we had it, even though we don't all necessarily agree. I hope we can all at least... I feel like it involves everyone, not just the parties involved. Like, I feel like it involves everyone to, at least come to a place of better understanding. That's what I was hoping for. So with that said, let's roll the outro, and I will see you all next week. Thanks for being here.